we are trying to move forward. However, the acts of criminality, goonism, and political intolerance witnessed in our churches, political rallies, and the recent one at Kalau by-election continues to rise. This is despite the assurance we keep getting from the government through the CS of Internal Security, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, that they will stamp this down. As a senator for Nakuru County, and my Nakuru residents have kept on pointing out that criminality, goonism, and political intolerance in Nakuru County is becoming worse day by day. And now it has turned out that this goonism and political intolerance that took place in Okalau was organized in hotels here in Nakuru by the same people that we have been complaining about. I urge the CS of Internal Security, Honorable Murkomen, and the IG, Mr. Douglas Kaja, to be honest and truthful to the Kenyans, that they serve and arrest these criminals once and for all, because they are well known to the people. CS of Internal Security, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, you have been claiming that you have been looking for these criminals all this time round. But fortunately, these criminals have been unmasked in broad daylight in the Okalau by-election saga, and they are now well known to the public. Now you cannot address the Kenyans and claim that you are still looking for these criminals while they are in the public domain. Bwana CS Kipchumba Murkomen and Bwana IG Douglas Kaja, please note that failure to arrest these criminals and arraign them in court with immediate effect will leave the public with no option but to believe that those responsible to deal with these criminals are either part of it or have turned a blind eye to it. As a senator for Nakuru County and the deputy majority leader of the Senate, I condemn the voter bribery. It is a shame that the members of parliament who are given the mandate to mobilize the people and campaign for the UDA party candidate in the Okalau by-election, instead of persuasion and strategy, they opted to voter bribery. They shamelessly opted to ferry goons from far and wide that caused injuries and deaths to the very people they were supposed to persuade and vote for UDA candidate. Remove all these clueless leaders from your circles, because going forward, it will be very hard for anyone to vie using UDA party. They were given some mandates to go there and campaign for the UDA candidate. But instead of going to do to play that mandate, they went there with a lot of intimidation, a lot of they caused some chaos that we saw some people that are even dying, and opted to do voter bribery. But at the end of it, the people of Okalau were not happy about, and at the end of it, they voted against that intimidation, those frustrations, the kiburi, the way they were shown. There's a lot of kiburi from the people that were sent to do the campaign, to campaign for the candidate, and so they failed the party. If His Excellency doesn't remove the people that were sent to the Okalau to do the campaign for the candidate of the UDA, I'm very sure that it will be very hard for anybody now to think of buying using the UDA party. That is very wrong. That's very criminal, because we know there is freedom of speech, there is freedom of the journalists. So meaning harassing them, that is misuse of power and going against the law. That instead of letting the people do their work, because in any election we need media, and it's as if they are thinking that we can do without the media. So that is that is criminal. I can say it's criminal, and I think I condemn anybody that can frustrate media on doing playing their role to the Kenyans. It doesn't. With the IG Kaja, if they don't arrest these criminals and the goons that now have been unmasked in the by-election, or Kalau by-election, now we can scream, and I mean we can now say that he has failed, and to me, he will be doing injustice to the Kenyans, and I think he should resign. Yes, for internal security, Kipchumba Murkomen have been saying that he's been looking for these people, because we've seen this goonism, which is a very bad thing happening to our country, and we witnessed this in the churches, in political rallies. And since he's been saying that he's been looking for them, now they've been unmasked at that Kalau by-election, because we know the cars, the number plates of those cars, we know the owners. We saw the headlines in the newspaper, who the owners of these cars are. We've seen people like the MP for Nakuru Gekaria lying to the people of Kenya that you can go to do election or you can go vote without having an ID. So these people now have been unmasked. So I don't think there is anything else. Now he can face Kenyans and tell them that he's looking for these criminals. In fact, I think Kenyans are demanding those people to be arrested. I know the president is working very hard to ensure that we have that conducive environment to do business in this country. So if we continue this way, we will see the investment of this country, our economy, going down every day. And then we still continue that way, this goonism and that criminals, we will see this country going to anarchy, which I don't think anybody would love to watch and see that. I don't think Kuda has a problem as a party itself. It is the people, some of the people in the party. They feel as if they are the owners of that party. And in that kiburi, they will even discouraging people joining the party. And even the ones who are inside, they will think twice whether they will use the same party to buy. Because there's a casaco of people who believe. I don't know, they're the ones who started that party. So they keep on messing with that party. And you remember it was one of the biggest party in this country. I still believe it still remains the biggest party as we speak. But how far can we go with it if at all we continue some of our people misbehaving shamelessly the way we saw them misbehaving at Kalau? Instead of, then you go in broad daylight with the cars branded, hooded goons, and then start terrorizing Kenyans, the people who are just waking up to go and need their democratic rights to elect their leader, harassing them. And then you expect you to be elected, your candidate to be elected? No. In fact, people are voting against those harassments. And I believe they were voting against the chaos and the violence and intimidations that they were shown.